I just wanted to say one of the things I loved about your novel, Teolinda, was at first we see Amelia through the eyes of Gita, and she's a very negative character. We dislike her, Gita hates her, we dislike her as a reader. But then in part two, we see Amelia from a third person narrative's perspective, and we understand her life, and we have empathy for her. We don't hate her anymore. We have a lot of empathy for her. And at the end of the novel, I mean, finally she remarries, she goes back to Portugal. I'm assuming she's much happier in her new life than she was in Mozambique. Because now I think her husband has more money. She's back in a society that she feels part of. And I just loved how that feeling of disliking her and then empathizing with her, you produce so beautifully. I have one last question for you, Teolinda. Do you have any other of your previously published Portuguese novels that are going to be translated into English in the near future?
Oh, I hope many of them will, but when and
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a question for publishers.
Yeah. No. By the way, as regards Amelia, she marries an Australian.
Yes.
She goes to Australia, and I don't think that she'll be any happier there. I think she's the kind of person who can't be happy.
Yes. Yes, exactly. She answers to another ad, and she goes to Australia.
Yeah.
With a fat Australian
Yeah.
farmer.
Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting, another thing as well, because that I found this particular interesting, because when you the first chapter, which is the child, the Gita as a child, in a way is more mature than the second chapter, which is Amelia, her mom. But in a way, I don't know, that's what I found. In a way, this adult woman is much more childish in a way than her own daughter, because her view of the world, and again, probably because she came from Portugal on that time and all the things she suffered there. I mean, that environment was likely to, you know, to make people feel that way, isn't it? Her horizons and her mindset were much more narrow than her daughter, even as a child. It's very interesting, that contrast between them. Yeah, I just
yeah. Well, because they've been brought up in different cultures. I think it is that really, and it's interesting because I know people from Angola and Mozambique who moved to Portugal or moved to England and they're usually very different. There's something about being born in Africa. It's a different culture, I think, especially compared with somewhere like England. A bit tight-lipped.
Well, but I hope I will have more novels translated, and hopefully by Margaret.
But you have another one, right?
Thank you very much for this initiative. I think it's very interesting.
But Teolinda, you have another one translated, right? Which is
Yes.
The City of Ulysses.
City of Ulysses, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And I take this opportunity to apologize for the lack of information, because the websites where we found the information for your biography obviously were not updated. So we put
I have a site, Teolinda Gersão, wordpress.com. This is more or less actualized.
Okay.